Hi everyone, I'm Chris, and this is another week of Chris's Tech Tips from Option 5 Media Inc. This week we're going to talk about spam. Everybody tries to avoid it, but it's really difficult. Do you know over 97% of the emails sent on the internet today is actually spam? 97%! That's horrible. So I've got some tips for you to help avoid all this mess. Tip number 1, don't give your email address out to people you don't know. It's really that simple. You'll cut down on the majority of email messages that are junk if people don't know your email address. Now yes, there will be times where you'll still get spam. However, the number of times that people will just randomly guess what your email address is will be far less than if they already have it because you've given it to them. Tip number 2, just because a website asks for your email address doesn't mean you have to give it to them. The only real exception to this is when you're ordering things online. When you're placing an order, they need your email address to be able to correspond with you and give you information such as tracking information for packages, and also your receipt. Other than that, try and avoid it. Tip number 3. If you get an email from someone that you don't recognize, just delete it. Don't open it. Chances are it's probably spam or junk mail anyway. Save yourself the trouble and don't open it. It may even contain a virus. Tip number 4. Opening email messages from companies that you don't recognize and seeing the button at the bottom that says unsubscribe may give you the impression that you're going to get less junk mail, but in fact you may get more. In fact, a lot of times people will place these unsubscribe buttons on there just to get you to click them and confirm that there's actually a real person on the other end reading the email message they sent. Think about it. You just confirmed that you're reading the message. You've now tripled in value to a spammer who wants to sell your account for money. The only exception to that would be if it's a company you do recognize or you do business with regularly. If you've ordered from them and now you're getting spam or junk mail messages on a weekly basis about advertisements, press that unsubscribe button and save yourself one less message per week. Tip number 5. Tip number 5. Tip number 5. Verify if your email supports spam filtering. A lot of the major internet service providers, such as Cox and Verizon, will support filtering for spam. A lot of the companies, such as Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, and others, will also give you this feature. Each email provider will give you some options on spam filtering. Normally, it's a method of high, medium, or low, or most restrictive, least restrictive, and off for their spam filtering options. Take a look and see what they give you, and try these out. Be careful and remember that spam filters can sometimes filter things that you actually want, so you may need to check a junk mail folder or spam filter folder just to be sure that you're not losing messages that you really want to be reading. Tip number 6. Hot men and women will not just randomly email you. Messages that come into your inbox with these are nothing but spam and junk mail. Don't get fooled into them. Let's see. Junk. Jenny McCarthy emailed me? Woohoo! I'm having a date tonight. This doesn't happen in real life. Just delete the message and save yourself a lot of pain and trouble. Finally, tip number 7. If all else fails and you really cannot get rid of this junk mail, you may have to change your email address. Now, this isn't the easiest thing to do, and it does take some effort on your part, but you will stop the email problems immediately. They can build back up if you continue your old habits, but changing your email address makes a significant difference. There's a couple of steps to do. 1, create a new email address. 2, email everyone through your old email address about your new email address. That way they know it's actually you emailing them. And 3, give them some time to get this change to occur. Finally, keep an eye out for people who are still using your old email address after a couple of months. Warn them again, and then let them know that you're no longer going to be checking this address again. I hope these tips help keep your inbox clean. And remember, if you do get junk mail frequently, you can forward those messages to the FTC where they will take action on it. If they receive enough messages from the same spammer, they will fine those people up to $500 per occurrence. So that can really be quite a large fine for the spammer. You can forward these messages to spam@uce.gov. That's spam@uce.gov. Well, this is another tech tip from Chris. I hope you've enjoyed. Bye now. Dear Jenny McCarthy, I'm thrilled you found me on Facebook the other day and can't wait to meet up.